Hello everyone, I'm Andrew Can from TubeBuddy, and I wanted to welcome you into this live stream where we discuss what do the numbers within TubeBuddy even mean. And I think that's super important to discuss today, because whether you are an advanced user or even a new user, it's important that we discuss these metrics. First, I wanted to thank everyone who took this time to join me in this live stream. If you're watching this replay, if you want a short and condensed version of this, there will be a video in the pinned comment down below. However, thank you everyone for joining me live today. Today, we are 70 subscribers away from hitting 250,000 subscribers here on this YouTube channel, and it wouldn't be possible without the amazing people watching live and everyone who watches these videos. Shoutouts to Ike, Shelly Saves the Day, Paul Peck. I see a bunch of familiar faces like Rob. I see Harley Pebbly, Susie Valentine Realtor. I see Creator Fundamentals, Dan is in the house, and I'm really excited to explain what do all of these numbers within TubeBuddy mean. First, let me know if this sounds fine, and if so, we can continue onward, moving forward. I'm excited to be streaming today, because we get these questions all the time. What do all the numbers in TubeBuddy mean? So we're going to break it down from somebody else's video all the way to our own videos and explaining what each of these numbers mean. So today we are going to be focusing on these numbers, but if we can hit 250,000 subscribers during the stream, maybe we'll do some channel reviews. I got some time, so if you guys would like that, let's keep looking at that goal. That said, the first thing I want to kind of focus on is the search aspect. So today we are going to be focusing on that. Now, I have to say, I'm super excited about this because one of my favorite things to do when it comes to YouTube or anything like that in general is just talk about some of the important factors that it really takes to understand TubeBuddy and YouTube. So before we ever look there, I want to first talk about what you need to understand when using any tool is that it can only work as much as you do. So that being said, I'm going to show you these tools, but it's kind of up to you and how you use them. So let's transition over. Let me know if everyone can see the screen. So, International Future says, nice voice. Well, thank you. Chris Mizo says, always good hearing from TubeBuddy. So the first thing people usually get confused about within TubeBuddy comes within our Keyword Explorer. So I'm going to take this pretty slow today. So the first thing you'll do when you come in through the TubeBuddy drop-down menu, you'll see our tools page, which always highlights the latest features. So you may notice the Coppa Center. You may notice the Keyword Explorer, the thumbnail generator. We're going to be covering a lot of what these numbers means today. And if you have any questions whatsoever, please feel free to ask. In the description down below, there will be a question form, which I will be getting to as well. DIY Solar Homestead says, hit the like. I agree. So the first thing I want to discuss, as I said, is in search. So why don't we search up, because we have some amazing people here today, why don't we look up, I'm just going to choose someone to randomly search. So Chris Mizo, you are our selection. He shows up. He says, hi, I'm Chris Mizo. Are you currently in an LDR thinking of one? I want to share my life with you. Well, that's an amazing subject. But it gives us an opportunity to take a look at the Search Explorer. A lot of people get confused at what this means, what it can do for them, and I want to focus on this right away. Now, those familiar with our Keyword Explorer may recognize this, and I always tell people that the Search Explorer is kind of the way I'd like to describe it is a simplified version of that, but it provides that valuable information. The first thing to note when you are doing this is that it is the unweighted score. I will quickly and easily explain the difference between the weighted and that unweighted score. The weighted score takes your personal YouTube channel. So whoever's watching this, whoever's using Keyword Explorer, the weighted score takes your YouTube channel into consideration. Now, this does require a paid level of TubeBuddy, but in the description of this live stream, we're going to link to a video that can help you get a free TubeBuddy trial if you've never had one before. Again, this has so much value. When we start to understand all these different numbers, it really gives you some clarity, and that's what really matters when it comes to YouTube. Transitioning back. So the first thing we're going to see is this score. This keyword has some competition, but it also has enough search volume to make it worth targeting. Good job there, Chris. So, Working Mom Plans by Kate says, thumbs up hit. Thank you. As we look here, The first thing, Chris, you should be interested in is these are some things people are typing in that tend to be related to your name. If these don't make sense, maybe it's worth looking into. But as we look a little down, we can see the most used tags that videos with Chris's name tend to have. So we can see international couple Taiwan, long distance relationship, and based on the description I see here, that's pretty accurate. So as we go on, the next thing I want to show are those keyword stats. So this gives us a breakdown that I think is super important. What we'll see here is how many times that keyword, or in this case, Chris's name, is in the title, 1 out of 21, description, and tags says 1 out of 21. The top channel is, of course, our very own Chris, so that's really good. And the most viewed video, which seems to be from, if I were to take a guess here, a verified artist, because surprisingly, there's a lot of different things that show up when you type in your name, Chris. The more you learn. So, as we can see here, we see that, ironically, Chris, when it says videos you own, yes, you own the latest from Chris here, but that makes sense because YouTube is trying to recommend your channel. But when it comes to just the search results, you're competing with all of these other people, which is interesting to me to see that even though you own your name, it's recommending these other videos, but it's also recommending your channel. So that's honestly better, and you kind of want this. But one thing I want to show, and a lot of people don't know this, if you're already searching for something through YouTube search anyway, if you want to open it in the Keyword Explorer, even if you don't have the Pro for the weighted, it'll still open the Keyword Explorer. You'll just have to select unweighted. But one thing I love showing people is what all the different numbers within the Keyword Explorer means. Now, if you have any questions on this, please let me know. I see we have a lot of people here, and I want to make sure that we are bringing the most value to everyone involved, because that's really what these streams are here to do. They're here to bring value to everyone watching. So as we consider looking here, one thing I want to show you, what I think is super important when it comes to this, is you want to make sure whenever you are doing anything with SEO, if you have any questions on this, sorry if you guys hear that in the background, want to open that question doc, because I know we get questions throughout the stream. But one of the things I've learned by doing as many streams as I have, whether on my own channel, on TubeBuddy, is that we get a lot of people who get confused on how we come up with this overall score. So, Chris, I have used your name a little bit, but we must move on. I think we will look up, there is Paul Peck Drywall Tube in here, so how about we look up drywall, which is very, very good. Now, if you have a channel topic you would like me to do research while we're going through all these numbers, please put it in the comments now so I can make this customizable and personal to everyone who's here live. Again, bringing you value. Dustin says, this is very interesting. Awesome. So as we can see from drywall, I want to break this down one step at a time. Now, if you're unsure which one you should look at, again, you need to be focusing on the weighted score for your specific YouTube channel. So, Playworthy says gaming. The more specific you can be, the better. So what games are you playing? See, Lego Ninja says Lego, which is a little more specific, but what kind of Legos? Lego Star Wars, Lego what? So Kids Channel 2020 says, I tried the best keywords, even excellent score, but getting no views. So let's go into that. So if you're looking at the unweighted score, this isn't taking your YouTube channel into consideration. So here's the thing. You can get an excellent in search volume, which means people are searching for drywall. Again, the number of monthly estimates here is 2.6 million, right? But just because one of them is excellent doesn't mean it's good for your channel specifically to go after, right? So if I look here, while the search volume is excellent, the competition is being defined as poor. Look at this though, we're still in the unweighted. What this means is generally, even without giving a specific score for my channel, us here at TubeBuddy, the problem is that this is so competitive even before looking at our own personal results. Another thing to look at is the optimization strength is only good. So what each of these mean? Search volume is pretty simple. It is how many people are searching for this. You can kind of see this reflected in the number of monthly search estimate, which can be found here. So there's about 2.6 million searches. That's pretty good. That's an excellent search result. However, if we want to look at competition, and this is where most people get confused, this is still using just the free version. We can see there's a lot of competition. The number of videos in search results is 2.74 million. So you're trying to compete against almost 3 million, if I round up, videos. So you really, really are going to heavily rely on how your channel performs. So the final one is optimization strength. The reason this is only good is if we click over the hover tip here, this is how well the videos in search tend to be optimized. And for drywall, because I know Paul Peck is here, it tends to be pretty decently well optimized. So if we look at the results, which shows a lot, ironically, what I would like to see more of is Paul Peck showing up for drywall. But I'm actually not seeing you, Paul. So this might be a different way you can think of competing for that drywall. Because I'd love to see Paul Peck show up a little more for just the word drywall. Like when I think of drywall on YouTube, I think Paul Peck. He did not pay me, but he can. Oh, no, joking. But it just goes to show that even though as simple as this may be, some people are just going to type in drywall. So if we go to the weighted score, we'll see different results. So here we're going to get a few more differences, right? If you notice, the score stays the same. And the reason for that is even though we're looking at our channel, there is a barrier to entry to talk about, and that can be found in the U versus top ranked video section. The top ranked videos, so the first 21 results, usually on average between all the videos have 728,000 views. Now, our channel does well here at TubeBuddy, but the problem is that to break in to this term on the first page of search results, you would need pretty much 35,000 views. If we look here, this is the lowest view count found in the top ranking videos. So what the U versus top ranking videos section shows is how you would break in, how you can compare versus people that are already on the first page of search results. And someone mentioned earlier that they use the best keywords. Well, here's the thing. If the barrier to entry, in this case, is 35,000, and let's say you have our views, which is about 2,000 per video. If you're only getting 2,000 views on average for an upload, and you need 35,000 to rank in the top ranking positions for a term, that term is too competitive. It's not that it's unviable, but it is too competitive for what you can do. So that's where using long-tail descriptive keywords really comes into play, and understanding these numbers can help you look at SEO in a whole new light. So if we transition back, I want to look at Lego building from Red Lego Ninja, who says that's what he is trying to target. So let's look at Lego building using this information we now have. So if we look at the unweighted, it's similar to drywall. Yes, the search volume is excellent, but the competition is poor. A little better news for you is that optimization strength is not the best here. So this means that if you come in with some decently optimized Lego building videos, you have a chance, but let's look at that barrier to entry. The average video on this term has 2.33 million views. And the barrier to entry is 17,000 if we round up. So the problem here is, unless your videos can get 17,000 views on that first week, you have a really, really difficult time ranking through here. So the thing becomes, Lily Tree says no drywall TubeBuddy videos, only if Paul wants to collab. But more specifically, if we look here, the barrier to entry is so high, yet again, it's 17,000. And on TubeBuddy, we only get about 2,000 views. Now, if you're wondering how this is calculated similarly to how YouTube does it, where it takes your recent uploads and gives you a medium amount of views. Now, YouTube compares in the new dashboard your previous videos to your past 10. We do similar on TubeBuddy. And again, the idea is so you know how you're growing over a 10 video cycle. I think currently we do it to 5, but we're in talks of bringing it to 10 to match more of what YouTube dashboard is saying. But the point is, if you know that there is a minimum requirement to even consider ranking in the top search results, and you don't hit those average views, you need to get more specific in how you're going to target those results. So let's show how you can do that. So Marcel Harding Art says, Happy New Year. That barrier to entry thing is why longer term keywords are easier to rank for, even though they have fewer views. Which is correct, as Harley Pebley says, but here's the thing, right? So Lego building is where we're on now, but what if we looked at what other people are searching for? These aren't necessarily numbers, but they can talk about how people are searching, right? So if you don't know, video searches are the amount of people searching for these terms specifically on YouTube, the platform we're on, everyone. So if I know that this is super competitive, Lego building, let's see what other things people are looking for. So they're looking for ASMR, time-lapse, techniques. They're looking for sound effects, tutorials, ideas, memes. Let's say I am a time-lapse channel, which is a lot different than just Lego building. So all of a sudden, our score is much better. The barrier to entry is lower, but it still has a good amount of search. Now, it's poorer comparatively, but the thing is, if you can get a lot of views on a Lego building time-lapse, you have a real chance of getting all the way up in search results. So, that just gives you an idea. I see that apparently Drew the Disney dude is savage, so I'm curious to what he said. So Disney World is a target for you. Makes sense. So as you can see here, the more we go, the more specific. Let's say you have a Lego Death Star, right? That's something that's topical with the episode 9 coming out. Well, all of a sudden we have different views. Yes, it's not as high comparatively, but the barrier to entry is lower. It's more relative and related to what you might actually be doing. And the more videos you have, since you're doing Lego building, around a subject, so you could create a Star Wars playlist, you could do all this, that gives you a very, very good idea. So we went from just Lego building to time-lapse building Lego Death Stars. So the more specific you can get on a video, the better chance you have of ranking. So I saw from Farm All Fanatic, antique farming is something they're into. So why don't we look up antique farming? And again, all of these have a different number and a value. I might try to zoom in yet again. Let me know if you guys can see that even easier, trying to make this as easy as possible. So right off the bat, antique farming, it's not bad. It's got fair search, but you have to remember, sometimes what you're passionate about may not be the most searched, but that doesn't mean you should not go after it. It just means you have to be realistic in your expectations. So antique farming in general, if we look at the results, which we will show what all of these numbers mean, these numbers here are where this video ranks in search results. So if we look antique farming, notice how here at TubeBuddy, we highlight the title and the description. Guess what? That's what YouTube is doing automatically in the search results. Don't believe me? There's a reason I kept on Chris's YouTube thing here. So if we look here, Chris Mizo, hopefully I'm pronouncing that correct. It's not on accident that YouTube highlights that. It's looking for relevant matches between the title, in this case, Chris's channel, and in the description. It does this on your channel. It does this on videos. So anytime it sees something that we search for, in this case, Mizo, in a description or title, it highlights it or bolds it. See this again here? So the more you add those terms and the more you keep it like such, the more it comes back and the more it is highlighted. So if we go back to antique farming, then what we're going to start seeing in the results is how YouTube and TubeBuddy makes it even easier for you to see the matches, because the more it matches, the more relevant it is. So we have a kids channel 2020, which tag recommended from you with high score or low tag score. You want, as I said earlier, you want it to ideally, if we go back to the summary, you want it to have a high search volume, low competition, and high optimization strength, because then you have a really good chance. Since every channel is different, kids channel 2020, it really matters what the barrier to entry is. You're saying, what is a good and what's a bad tag? Well, that's channel specific. What tags are you looking for? What is your channel performance? So you're asking a broad question for something that's specific to you. So it becomes very difficult for anyone to give you an answer because we don't have access to the back-end data. Now, what I can say, and this may sound harsh, but it's one of those things where you need to focus on what can you realistically rank for, right? So us here at TubeBuddy, we get about 2,000 views. If we were going to go into antique farming, we have a real chance of showing up. But if we went back and do, Lego building, it's not going to be as easy comparatively, right? Like the barrier to entry even here is a little bit higher than maybe what we can get. Now, what I tell people is, this is a great example. If the barrier to entry is like slightly higher than what your views are, then I would still do the video. And the reason why is because there's a chance you can hit these views over time, but maybe you just target it and let it do its course. You got to be patient and earn the views. One of the things that people don't like hearing, and I don't like it, I don't think any YouTube person likes to say, I know it'll rank over time. Like, no one likes that, but it's the truth of the situation. YouTube is a search engine. The more content you have out there, the higher likelihood it is for YouTube to suggest it, for people to find it. And a lot of people say, and this is proven, we have some data studies here on TubeBuddy, the more you upload, that's the best way. If you upload with clear, targeted content that keeps people watching, you'll do well. And TubeBuddy can help you do some research and come up with video ideas. So why don't we do that now? Let's transition. I want to go back to antique farming. So as we know, these are things that people are searching for on YouTube. But the web searches tab is what people are searching on Google. So here's where you can not only leverage YouTube searches with video searches, but also Google searches. So if people are looking up antique farming tools on Google, there's a high likelihood that they're going to be wanting these on YouTube too. And one cool thing that YouTube did is, and well, Google did this, but YouTube is benefiting, is you can then still do it. Meat Gaming says, do tags even help? Absolutely. Here's the thing. YouTube says tags don't matter as much as they used to, and that is true, but they still matter. The reason YouTube says this is because creators would hope that tags would save bad performing videos. Good tags cannot help bad performing videos, and a bad performing video could be it's misleading to what was promised. It takes too long to get to a point. Your analytics will always show if a video is performing well or if it could use some improvement. But the point being, if tags didn't matter still, then YouTube would not have included them when it comes to the new YouTube Studio. They keep them for a reason. So, as we look here, if we wanted to come up with video ideas, then the web searches make a lot of sense. And if we click on them, let's look up antique farming tools. This is just something maybe we could make a video about. It's got a weighted score. The search volume is poor, but maybe this isn't a great example. Let's look for something else. Someone mentioned Disney World earlier, so let's look up Disney World. So, going to have a lot more search, going to have a higher barrier to entry, but it's understanding these numbers where we can better do SEO, right? So yes, the barrier to entry of Disney World just proper is going to be high. That's just the nature of the beast. Rebel Vaughn says, why can't I use Keyword Explorer? I can't answer that because I don't know what browser you're on. I don't know if you're on the desktop or the mobile version, and if you are, the more information, the better. How do we properly use tag section? That depends on the video you're using, the gameplay couch. So if we're doing a video on Disney World, for example, this is where we need to be specific. Well, what are we doing? Are we talking about the rides? Are we vlogging our things? If we want to go for Google, maybe we talk about the parks. We talk about the packages. Again, what people are searching for and on either YouTube or Google are always going to be good video ideas because these are the things that people are actively looking for. So if you are in a niche such as Disney World or Lego building and you can see what people are looking for and that also interests you, then that's a video idea for your next video. So let's say let's go Disney World 2020 since that's the year this stream is taking place in. A lot of people are searching for it and the barrier to entry is very low for right now. So there's still more results, right? We see there's video searches, there's going to be web searches. The final one is video topics, where we come up with things that we've noticed in both of these. So what's coming to Disney World in 2020? Must do Disney World 2020. Best things to do in Disney World 2020. So the more you're having, the more information you have, the more you can do. So let's say we wanted to do Disney World 2020 when it comes to a video. Well, what are we going to be doing in Disney World? Let's say we focus a video on the rides. Well, then this is where we can come up with a topic that then needs to be two things. YouTube has said that a video needs not only to be searchable, but it needs to be compelling. So let's say our video is about Disney World 2020. Sorry, everyone out there, for that Skype notification. Let's go put that on DND, do not disturb, not Dungeons and Dragons, folks. But if you focus on Disney World Rides 2020, be specific on what ride. Or if you're Lego building, be specific on what you're building. If you're doing drywall, what kind of drywall are you doing? If you're antique farming, what did you farm? The more specific you can be, the better it is. Because then you can use those tags that people are searching for as descriptions, you can use them as video ideas, and that's where it's up to you as a creator to create not only something you want to make, but something people are searching for. I tell people this: if you're creating a video just for yourself, don't be surprised if it's only yourself watching. Yes, you may have a core audience of subscribers, but genuinely speaking, and generally, if you make content for your ideal audience, for the other people to find, you have a better chance of standing out and ranking. It's just kind of what ends up being. So, as we look here, this is an easy, we started with Walt Disney World, now we're talking about the rides, and that's a video idea. And you can do this about anything. But I want to go back to Disney World because this is a great example for the other tabs within Keyword Explorer. You might wonder, what is the most used tags? Well, it's just that. These are the most used tags in the top ranking videos. So if I'm doing a video on Disney World as this example, then Disney is in the tags 55%. Disney Vlog is in it 48%. And these are how frequently these tags are used. Now, the reason these matter is it gives you an idea of how competitive these are and how other people are targeting this. So the more specific you get, the better it becomes. So when we go through even more, I want to look at trending next. Now, Disney World will have a lot of trending queries. It is a place that is commonly looked up, but not every term may have this. So again, the more specific you get, the less trending queries you get. However, what we can see is these are things people are actively searching for. And again, we get this data from Google Trends around the world. So here's the thing. If I know I'm doing a video about Disney World, but I'm not sure what I should do, well, maybe I talk about, some of these things here. We can talk about, Smuggler's Run, which is a new ride, which would talk about the ride stuff we researched earlier, which is where we could go back to our tags, Disney World Ride 2020. Well, that would be not only relevant to the video we want to make, but it matters. We can see Galaxy's Edge, we can see Rock and Roller Coaster, we can see a lot of rides. So this gives us not only searchable stuff. Life Geared says, okay, so instead of coming up with a topic idea on my own, I should use Keyword Explorer. So you can use Keyword Explorer on top of ideas of your own, because sometimes I can come up with an idea, but it doesn't mean it's a good one. Like if I said, I want to teach people how to light, how to do film lighting. I'm into filmmaking on my channel. That makes sense. I want to teach people how to use TubeBuddy and what the numbers mean. That makes sense. But if we get too specific, or we do an idea no one's looking for, then that's where doing that research matters, because sometimes people aren't looking for what you want to make. And that doesn't mean that they're not interested, but it means you have to be realistic in your expectations. Because I can make the best video on how to light a very specific thing, but if no one is looking for it and no one cares, I can't be surprised when I don't get the results I want. Crystal Vlogs is correct. It wasn't a dumb question. You just want to make sure your topic is searchable. Absolutely. So, when I look at trending here, I tend to, what I do personally, is try to find something I'm interested in. Go to my root topics. So for TubeBuddy, let's just go to TubeBuddy. I can see people are looking about TubeBuddy tags, reviews, keyword research, they who not be named, TubeBuddy tutorial, TubeBuddy for YouTube, TubeBuddy Coppa. Now this is about our Coppa Center tool, which is great. But the thing is, this is a great example where the competition is excellent, but the search volume is poor. And even though, we have this, there's a lot of videos about this. So there it comes down to, even though we have the most viewed videos, there's so much new competition for it that we're actually having to compete with everyone. It doesn't mean it's a bad thing, but it's keeping realistic in what you're expecting. If we go back to Disney World, we get more options though. If we look at historical, this gives us an idea of how people have been searching for Disney World over time. Again, we can see there was a peak in June. This is probably around Galaxy's Edge. There's a peak here, probably the same thing. And we can see it kind of dwindles off, but it starts rising again. We get this data from Google Trends, so if you ever want to click out, you can and explore the same terms, see it in a little differently. But it all matters where you are. So this is just a general idea of how much you can do. But this is just another specific example. There are still more numbers we can talk about in TubeBuddy. One of the things I want to talk about in TubeBuddy that maybe not a lot of people know about is something I am super interested in. Now, if you are unaware, this does require legend level of TubeBuddy, but TubeBuddy offers A/B testing. And I want to talk about this because it's an important part. So, you go here under website tools, A/B tests, click on it. I'm going to transition. Actually, there's nothing too terrible here. Well, you can see that we have a lot of thumbnail tests. And the reason this matters is because you want to make sure you are doing as best as you can be on thumbnails. So here's an example of thumbnails that we're running, thumbnails that we have tested, and we have some old ones, right? We have some old videos and we have some new thumbnails. So here was the original one. Here was the original thumbnail. YouTube optimization for beginners. We have both versions. What we found is this one is slightly better, and so we went with it. Now, yes, it's only slightly better, but here's a couple of reasons for our choice here. This thumbnail ended up getting suggested way more than the first one. It also was doing a lot better in browse. Now, it wasn't doing as well in search, but it's only by 2, so that could be a lot of anomalies. We also noticed that this video ended up getting more views over the test, and that while the amount of impressions were not as high, the click-through rate of the impressions was higher. So what this means is, overall, this thumbnail performed better in what we wanted compared to the first thumbnail. So the reason this is important is because you want is a higher performing thumbnail so you can get suggested higher and higher. Dr. Sten Ekberg says the new thumbnail looks great. Well, thank you, Dr. Sten. I do appreciate that. We are working hard on revamping, but there's some times we missed. There's some times where we thought, maybe the new one is better. In reality, it wasn't. So it sometimes comes down to, you can think, maybe we thought this one would do better, but this one ended up performing better. But you got to keep testing because you'll never know. Here's another example of this one ended up doing much better, and even I'm not perfect. I'm going to update it. So now we can see where this one did better. It got more impressions, it got more clicks, it was suggested more, it did better in search, it did better in browse, it had more minutes. Yes, the one thing I will say is average view duration. I always tell people that this could be based on any factor of a video. Keep in mind this is only pretty much a 2-minute video, so viewership wise that doesn't matter as much. What I tend to look at is this doing better in search, suggested, browse, as well as is the click-through rate significantly higher? In this case, it was. Now, Nick and Andrea Hill says, love this information. We'll use more of these tools moving forward. Keep in mind that A/B testing is a legend level feature. If you would like a discount of 25% off on any TubeBuddy license, you can use Andrew's Buddy. You can also get a discount for buying a year. That gets you another 20%. So if you use Andrew's Buddy in the year, you're getting 45% off. But the thing is, when it comes to doing this, there's so many different numbers in TubeBuddy. There's so many different features. And I don't want you to get overwhelmed. But going in, breaking down what each number means, really gives an idea of how you can best use them and use them to your advantage. And yes, the stream will be live after. So I want to go ahead and get into some questions. So let's go ahead and get started. I have a long tail keyword which ranks as very good, but my video is not even ranking on the first 7 in the topic. Can you explain why that is? I don't have the keyword. This is from D Duke. So without knowing, it becomes very difficult for me to give you advice, because you say that you're not doing well, but you haven't given me an example or a keyword. So it just becomes, yay, good luck. So it becomes more difficult for me to give you advice because I don't have enough information. So you say that you have a long tail keyword which ranks as very good, but my video is not even ranking on the first 7. Can you explain why? You might have, the barrier to entry might be higher than your views average, which is what we talked about here. So if the barrier to entry is higher than what you can perform, then you've set the bar too high, and maybe it's where you come in and find other ways. It also matters, was that very good score on weighted or unweighted? Again, all these things matter. Let's go ahead and look at the next one. Speak French. I don't know how to speak French. My apologies. If I could. No, je ne parle français. That's probably really butchered. How to get subscribers. The best way to get subscribers is through focusing your content on your ideal audience. Figure out who you want to help on YouTube. In the case for Dr. Sten Ekberg, he wants to help people with their health. And he found a way to get views. He was able to identify the keto phase and grow through that. But now people trust Dr. Sten. He found a way to get search, not only search, but suggested, found ways to get views, and found ways for people could find out about his ideas. They ended up trusting him, which is why they subscribed. Find out what you want to talk about. Use tools such as the Keyword Explorer so you can figure out what people are searching for around a topic you're passionate about and make videos that people care about. But also videos you're happy and care about too. That's important. So hopefully that answers your question. Do you know if you re-upload a video to a different channel, deleting the previous video causes problem? Not necessarily. It would probably not do as well depending like how much data is on the other channel. Like that's such a broad question again. Without having that information, it becomes, I can't give you a solid. I always try to make informed decisions. What should I do so that my live stream attracts customers? Well, what we do here at TubeBuddy is we try to offer immediate value for joining these streams, right? So by joining these streams, I might pick your channel, like Doug Hewson's here, there's Allstar here, there's ClickSmart here, there's Lilytree, there's LifeGeared. You might get featured. So like I'm bringing value to the TubeBuddy audience by answering a question they may have. What do all the numbers mean? So by bringing value forefront, it gives them a reason to come to this live stream, subscribe to the channel, and be part of the community. A Gaming Fungi says, how many views should your first video get? Ideally 1. Up to that, it's up to you. How well optimized is a video? Are people searching for that video? It's going to be different for everyone. So how many views should your first video get? How much research did you do? How good is the video? That's completely dependent on you. I know for my personal channel, after TubeBuddy, my first video got 1,000 views pretty seamlessly, but that's because I had the background history of TubeBuddy and I knew how to optimize. But if you're starting, it's pretty much up to you. Now, I want to transition to more TubeBuddy numbers. That was just a little bit of the questions. Let's look at the TubeBuddy health report. Some people may not know what this is. If you want to know how to get there, go to website tools, go to health report. Now, I like the health report because for some people, the analytics can get a little tricky, but this breaks down the analytics in a very simple way. So this tells us that TubeBuddy has on average 3.67 million views, 249,000 subscribers, and we have 367 uploads. It shows us that over the last 30 days, we have gotten 154,000 views, which is up 40% compared to the last 30 days. Our subscribers are up 28.3% compared to the last 30, but as you can see, our engagement rate has taken a dip. So it makes it simple to understand and identify. If you really have if you're struggling on understanding the YouTube analytics, Health Report makes it stupid simple. Keep it stupid simple. Kiss anyone. Chris Mizo says, the YouTube's algorithm is an ever-changing beast. It is. Bill's HQ says, why do creators change the title of a video later on? Sometimes, and I know I'm guilty of this, sometimes you just rush a video and it wasn't the best optimized and it kind of tanks in views. and you change it, and then it does better. That's completely fine. Another thing is sometimes creators will create a video to try to get views from subscribers, and once the first 7 days is over, they'll make it more searchable friendly. That is a tactic. I haven't found a lot of success with it. I usually try to go for the search first and foremost because I find that once you do that from the upload, you have a better chance of staying there. But there are many different reasons. So it's kind of varied, but I tend to try to do the best title I can do out of the gate. And if that doesn't get views, I tend to let it sit because sometimes it could just be I had a bad thumbnail. That's why you got to A/B test. Lily Tree says, I've had TubeBuddy for ages. I know how to use the tools, then realize I have no idea what some of the numbers mean. Connor Fully Loaded said, what's the best time to upload? That is completely dependent on what you're trying to hit. Are you trying to upload for your subscribers? Are you just uploading to have new content? The best time to upload is going to be whatever you set your content as. The next thing I want to show here is the engagement rate. This talks about our comments, our likes, our dislikes. Hey, we're in the green, folks, but it's on dislikes. Everyone's entitled to an opinion, and there's nothing wrong with that. What this would show me is in December, we didn't really encourage comments and liking as much as we probably should have. So this is something we should work on in the next coming month. Now, if I look at sharing, we're actually doing pretty decently. People are sharing more on Facebook. They're sharing more miscellaneous. They're copying more. So this is actually pretty cool to see. So while our engagement and comments, likes, and stuff like that are going down, our sharing rate is going up. And this is important to know because if you know where people are sharing, maybe that gives you an idea of what communities are interested. We get a lot of copy and paste shares. That's important to know. We also get a decent improvement on Facebook shares here. Another thing we can see is retention. As we can see, our minutes watched is up. Our average view duration is down, but our average view percentage is up. So sometimes you'll see a view duration drop, but a view percentage up. We do live streams and videos, so that can explain why. Beanie says, is Andrew screen sharing from a 4K monitor? Correct, Beanie. I should probably zoom in. So the more you know. Here's something, if you're unsure where people are finding your content, I love the traffic sources part because it shows you where people are coming in on your channel and how it's doing, right? So TubeBuddy is going down, but TubeBuddy with a space is going up. How to optimize YouTube videos is going up, but TubeBuddy tutorial is going down. How to use TubeBuddy, how to see tags on YouTube videos. All of these are things people searched for and found our channel. So all of these are either video ideas we should have or a future one. TubeBuddy keyword research, TubeBuddy for YouTube. All of these things really do matter. If we look at the related videos, getting started with TubeBuddy, these are what is being related on our channel. These are pretty much almost every video we have. Websites, this lets us know that our own website does a good job of getting us views. Similar with Google Play, Google Search, it shows where we're getting views from here. So there's just a lot of different numbers, but all of them are super important. I have now zoomed in. So let us go back to some more questions. Now that we've shown even more numbers within TubeBuddy, there's so much value to be had. Hey, I just want info on how to gain subscribers consistently. I would like to get 1,000 subscribers within a month. Again, if you want consistent subscribers, focus on who you want to help with your content, and help can be education, entertainment, etc. When you focus in on who your ideal audience is, the content you want to make, and you make content that is not only helpful, but searchable, or if it's not searchable, so compelling that people have to click, then you've hit it. Now, if you want an example of so compelling that people have to click, Mr. Beast comes to mind. He's really nailed that compelling element, and YouTube knows if they suggest his content, people will be compelled to click. So it really depends your content. So this comes from Simone. So without knowing your content, I can only give you that. So one person's asking their brother deleted their TubeBuddy Pro account and they're wondering how they can get it back. Support at TubeBuddy.com would be your best bet. As a new YouTube creator, I find Analytics Creator. Would it be more useful for me to wait until I get several videos under my belt before I more seriously learn how to read analytics? Thanks, Andrew. This is a great question, Ted. And I recognize you from TubeRitual. I recognize you from Twitter. When you're new to YouTube, don't wait to learn your analytics. I would say don't religiously view them because that can get you in your head. What I would say is see in those early views, in those early videos, and I'll show you here. Let's go to where they are. Let's transition. Look at how they are performing for your channel. If we click on analytics here, we can go to the TubeBuddy analytics. So look at where how your videos are doing, whether it's in that first, let's do 2020. Let's say you started here. See what people are doing to find your content. See where the reach is. For us, I know we have a good external reach. We also have good playlists. We have search traffic from YouTube. We have suggested. We have a lot of people Googling. See where people are finding you. Learn Spanish World says, greeting amigos. So glad I got here on time. Thank you for providing the stream. I love TubeBuddy, but still learning how to use some of the advanced features. So this stream is just perfect. Aloha everyone, says Doing Hawaii. Great to see you as well. But when you're looking at your analytics, the thing I would tell you, Ted, is see where you're getting traffic sources. See that. Focus on how long people are watching your content and see if they're engaging. Since you're new, every video should, you on average, since you're new and since you've identified hopefully what your audience is about, you want your next video to do equal to or better than your previous. So in that case, you want to make sure that you are hitting at least those goals. If you guys would like to see another TubeBuddy feature, let me know in those comments down below what more numbers means. We have so many we can get to on TubeBuddy, but I just want to make sure you are getting values worth while going over, honestly, everything. There are 91 of you, amazing people watching. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you for spending time with us here at TubeBuddy. And thank you to everyone who's helped us reach the 250,000 subscriber goal. But we have more numbers and I'm really excited. So let's keep going. Next question is from very satisfied with this application. Not a question, but thank you. How can I gain more views? Kindly help me. Again, the best way to get more views is to identify your audience. I'm going to keep saying these terms. Identify your audience. Make the content for them. All right, chat. Give me what your channel is about as a topic. We've gone over some before, and I'm going to show you an easy way to get more views by creating content that people are searching for. Now, I can't tell you if the content you've made is good, but I can tell you you can at least go after that search, which can then, as a starting YouTuber, get you views and subscribers. May we use our legend to be a consultant of other channels? So LenLab, if you have legend level TubeBuddy, that's only pretty much going to be good for your own YouTube channel. If you want to show other YouTube channels what legend can do, you can use your channel as an example, absolutely. Zerone says, how can I see all of my subscribers' names? That's actually kind of easy. We'll transition back. We will go to channel analytics. Now, here's the thing. You can't see all of their names because YouTube doesn't show them all. But if you go to the YouTube dashboard, you can get there from TubeBuddy, hit the dashboard and take you to the YouTube studio. You can see your recent subscribers. Here's the thing. As you can see, it's only the last 28 days and who have made their subscriptions public. So this gives you an idea. You can't see them all, but you can see your recent ones. So this gives you an easy way to see who subscribed to you recently. Thank you everyone here who has subscribed, by the way. We do greatly appreciate you. So that's just an easy way to see who subscribed. Can we use Coppa to our advantage? It's not so much something you can utilize like that. It's not so much like an advantage gain as much as it is a set of laws that we have to adhere to. So I told you I'm going to show you how to get views. Focus on a topic. I'm looking for we have van life. So I'm going to focus on that. Before we do that though, I do want to quickly show something. If you ever want to know what's trending for the day, TubeBuddy shows you what's trending. Now, depending where you're located, you can change this. So if I want to see what's trending in Poland, I can do that. If I want to see what's trending in Germany, I also can do that. Let's say I want to see what's trending in Argentina. We have the option. So you can pretty much change this to wherever you're located. For me, since I'm in the United States, this lets me know the number of searches and its trending capability. So a lot of things trending today. However, looking at van life, if that is what my channel is about, right, then I need to consider creating content, and I'll transition because I realize Can you see poll results on TubeBuddy? That is something you would need to see within your YouTube analytics. So as we look at van life, we go back to trending in case you didn't see it. This is where you can do all those different, if I want to see what's trending in the Philippines, that could have been my mistake. Sorry, folks. But you can change the way you can see what's trending. Gonna go back to the United States. We're gonna click recent. These numbers just show the score you got in the Keyword Explorer. Go to van life. Again, our channel is not a van life channel, but remember, the barrier to entry for van life as that is 89, it's pretty much 90,000 views, right? So that's going to be very competitive. So if I look here, well, what do you do in your van life? Are you about, when do you talk about, is it a tour? Is it a build? Are you in the winter? We can see what people are looking for. Van life tech, costs, sprinter, customs. These are all things people are looking up. Van life essentials and video topics. Where to park van life, where to sleep van life. These are things that we've recognized that there aren't that much. These are good things for you to target just from what we've kind of noticed here at TubeBuddy. Van life, where to start. This might be something to consider. This is pretty good. The barrier to entry is low, but it's an interesting video about van life. If you can hit this amount of views, that's not a bad idea. I see from East End Voyage, could you do the beauty niche? What part of the beauty niche? Niche. Life's a niche. Can you, depending on where you are, I mean, because like if I just type in beauty, there's so many subsections of beauty, right? There's Beauty Bird, Beauty and the Beast. I mean, we can go beauty tips. We'll start there. So if we start at beauty tips, barrier to entry is 25,000. Maybe it's beauty tips for men because I'm a man, and that makes sense for me to make that video. I can see there's a decent amount of monthly search. I can see that it's super competitive, and I can see it's not well optimized, so this is a chance. Regard says, I'm going to be a van life channel with a snake, also a minimalist. That will be a banger videos. Well, I would have to change your name to Janelle. Drew the Disney Dude. I will say this again, and I will also put this video in the description. Weighted is taking your channel's personal score, your channel's personal performance, into account when giving you a score. Unweighted is just no YouTube channel entered. If you want the best results for your YouTube channel, use the weighted score. You can also see pretty much that exact information right here. General score for how good this keyword is to target based on search volume and competition for the unweighted. Weighted, how good this keyword is to target for your specific channel based on search volume, competition, relevancy, and how you compare to others currently ranking in search. If you have access to that weighted score, use the weighted score. If you're using the free version, the unweighted gives you an idea. So this just gives you an idea. The more specific you can go on those beauty tips. To go back to the question, how do you get views? Well then, beauty tips for men, look at what's there. 10 grooming tips. There's not that many specifically called beauty tips for men. So maybe I'd come in with something that needs to be both searchable and compelling, right? So the idea is beauty tips for men. Here's how I'd make that searchable and compelling. 10 beauty tips for men that nobody tells you. Whoa, there's 10 tips for men, beauty tips, that no one's telling me? I want to see. That is both searchable and compelling. How I'd make a description is similarly. In this video, I'll share 10 beauty tips for men that nobody tells you. See how I've rephrased my title naturally like that? That really does matter when it comes to all of this. Andrew has the patience of Job. Shout out to everyone here, says G-Spot TV. Absolutely. Could not agree more. So again, the more you can talk about what you're really passionate about, right? The better it can be. So Rebel Vaughn says, is it better to use the weighted or unweighted metrics? Use the weighted metrics for your YouTube channel specifically. To find answers, hover, says Lily Tree. And again, maybe there's not a lot of search, but if we go to beauty, we might have trending. So like I said, it may not show in the trending, but here's what is trending for beauty. These are in the last 12 months, so this is the year. But if I want beauty, life beyond beauty, obviously if someone in the beauty commercial community will know a little better, because I'll be honest, I don't know what a lot of this means, but obviously if you're in this community, you might know more than me. Now, one thing I haven't shown is map. So I want to go back to van life. This may have historical. Van life does. You can kind of see where it picked up. You may see where the requested data does not exist. This just means that there's not enough worldwide data available for this term. But if we look at van life and we go back and we remember this, it really does give you all these options. And there's so many different numbers, but they're all really important. The way you use it is up to you, but I always tell people, figure out what your content's about. Look at what people are searching for, and do you have an interest in what people are searching for? If yes, can you reasonably compete in that topic? If yes, again, make videos around that searchable phrase. Because the more videos you have, the more content you have working for your channel. Let's move on to some more questions. Do you still see good income being a kid's content creator? Well, I can't speak to that. I am not a kid's content creator. So I'm sorry, I can't say really either way. Someone says, I'm actually using the TubeBuddy free version, and my channel provides an Arabic content, and until now, couldn't even reach over 200 views on my videos. Even in targeting keywords with 40 out of 100 score, and I want to know, is my language problem with TubeBuddy or what? Because, is it a weighted or unweighted score? Is that term too competitive for you? Again, so many factors. Without specifics, it's hard. Questions. Do YouTube video lives affect regular video recommendations? That's a great question, Ventus SGN. So they're asking, do YouTube live VODs affect regular video recommendations? No, they do not. However, and I want to say this, they do unfortunately affect watch time on the channel, and they can hurt if you lose subscribers through streams. Most people lose subscribers after doing live streams. The reason why is most people subscribe for the videos, maybe not so much the streams. I still recommend doing them, and we do them every week at Wednesday on TubeBuddy. Check out the TubeBuddy dropdown. In fact, I'll show you where you can go. You go to TubeBuddy, you can see right here in the messages, TubeBuddy is currently live streaming. We post when we're streaming every week on the TubeBuddy channel. But the thing is, unfortunately, as it stands, live streams can unfortunately affect your overall watch time. Doesn't really hurt your recommendations, but it's very rare when they get recommended. So it doesn't hurt it, but it's very rare when it does the opposite. So a gaming fungi says, is YouTube's video for kids under 13 or under 18? It is under 13. You can learn more through our Coppa Center, which might make sense for me to show now. So why don't we go ahead and show the Coppa Center so I can explain in a little more detail what that means. We go back to the channel dashboard. We go to videos. We give it a moment to load. We can go to the Coppa Center. This gives you a lot of information on Coppa. I want to zoom in just a little bit more. And here we are. So TubeBuddy will scan all of your videos to say if YouTube has identified any of them for kids. We show you how to determine if your content is made for kids. We have a blog post about this, and we have updates to changes to kids' content. If we start the scan, we can see some of the results. So this is going to tell us if YouTube has identified any of our videos as labeled for kids. It should not, because we are not a kids channel. This is videos that we have marked by us as not for kids. So if you're wondering, YouTube classifies a kid as anyone 13 or under. So keep that in mind. It also currently does not have a metric to show that no, this video is not for kids, but YouTube says they're making, well, I don't want to misspeak. I know people in the YouTube community want YouTube to make a statement on it. Gaming Fungi said, wow, live streaming with TubeBuddy is so informative. That's kind of what we hope to do. So I'm glad to hear that you're enjoying this. Can TubeBuddy show me when the best time to publish is for video? So we used to have that doing Hawaii, but again, it's one of those things, best time to publish is whenever you set that schedule. If you tell your audience you're going to publish every Wednesday at 3 p.m., then every Wednesday at 3 p.m. you're going to have higher results compared to other times. So if you want like a pure blanket way, we could recommend looking at your analytics, because now what YouTube does, what I tell people, is if we go into analytics, look at kind of your first 48 hours and see what times you notice like natural highs where people are looking. So this being obviously a bad example because we went live and this is kind of when we got a natural boost, but we tend to get a lot of views on TubeBuddy between the 8 and 10 a.m. mark. So that's when we tend to upload. We also tend to see a high range earlier in the morning or late at night there. So it really, if you look at your 48 and see kind of where you see those natural peaks and rises, that's a good way. But again, if you tell people when to publish, that's going to end up being your best time to publish. So it's really up to you. How do I access the GIF with Pro? There's lots of GIFs on the internet. If you're talking about a unfortunately discontinued feature known as our GIF generator, we had to discontinue it. However, the GIF is very broad, so I don't know what you're talking about. Sorry there, Isabel. I have had TubeBuddy for several weeks now, and I feel like it has helped streamline everything. But are there any more features going to be rolling out in 2020 that would help us creators even further? There are some big features coming, folks. I can't talk about it till they're complete. But stay tuned. We got a bunch of killer features that I'm very excited for. So stay tuned. Hopefully that answers your question. Mahalos. Okay, that makes sense. Mahalo says doing Hawaii. Does under 10-minute video rule still apply? I am Kian. Depends on what you mean by the under 10-minute rule. So if you're unaware, what people used to say is that you should make longer videos because longer videos can get watched more. What I recommend people is create a video that gets you good average view duration. 50% average view duration or higher is excellent. So if you make a 20-minute video and people only watch 3 minutes, that's not that good of an average view duration. Make videos that perform well for your channel that keep people watching. So people are saying they can't wait to see more new features. Same. Because guess what? We'll talk about them. How can I test my thumbnails? I heard there's a feature to do it, but I don't know how to use it. Well, I mean, we talked about the A/B testing a little bit earlier in this stream. Again, this does require legend level, and that's just because it takes a lot of data usage from us here at TubeBuddy. But if you are still watching and you missed it, I'll show another one, right? So here, we ran a test on YouTube dark mode. This one is a great example of we tried a new thumbnail feature and they're really, I mean, we had some impressions. What I'm seeing here is that we had some data, but this one didn't do as well, nearly as well. So we keep the original. If you want one that is performing differently, we can look at one that we are doing right now. So this one, we have been testing for statistical significance. If you don't know what that means, we are testing this until we are for sure that this new thumbnail outperforms the old one. What we can see here is that this click-through rate is much higher comparatively to the first one, though the first one wasn't bad to begin with. Even though this has less impressions, people tend to click through on this video more when they see it. We can also see that in search, suggested, and browse features, it's doing very well. So it's ending up getting more views than the original. It's ended up being searched, suggested, and clicked on more in search, suggested, and browse. And right now it's just performing better. It's looking good, but we want to make sure, which is why we're doing statistical significance. Dang, that was my question. It got answered. Oh well, I guess it will still help other people. Well, I mean, did you not want me to answer your question? Okay. I don't know what to say, except I do my best. Welcome, Christina Smallhorn. Great to have you here. Learn Spanish World says, thanks. Cruising with Cruz says, hello with a W. How much time does A/B test take, says Odin? That's a great question. So that's as long as you want to set them up for. You can set them up for 14 days, which is 2 weeks. We recommend that you have a good pool of data. You can set it up for 8 days. It does need to be an even day number. So if you want to do it for a week, it's technically 8 days. A/B tests I recommend is if you have a video that you think is a really good video, but for some reason is underperforming, you can check that through your CTR. I'd recommend doing a thumbnail click-through test. So how long it is dependent on you. This one, as I said, we're going for statistical significance, which means that we want to make 100% sure that this new thumbnail outperforms the old one. So that's why this one's still going. Another one I want to look at is our retention analyzer feature. This one is a great example of the original did better. So we can kind of see while search clicked here, it just turns out that maybe both of these thumbnails weren't that good. It also is important to know that this is a legend level TubeBuddy feature. Cooney, not sure, I see you all the time. I'll say KF. People are like, I want TubeBuddy A/B testing to be on a lower level. The thing is, it requires a lot of backend API usage from us here at TubeBuddy. So, in order to have the feature at all, it does require that highest level. However, we offer a lot of free trials. We offer a lot of ways for you to test it out and give it a shot. So, while we understand that it's kind of not much we can do, however, it is a very useful feature. You can use Andrew's Buddy. You can get that yearly. You can save 45% doing those two things. So, hopefully that helps. Beanie Draw says, TubeBuddy, does changing a video's titles and tags before changing the thumbnail skew the A/B testing results, or maybe the A/B testing results be more accurate? So it's going to skew the results, Beanie, because you are no longer using that same metric that you were originally doing with your videos. So that is an option. You can do thumbnail, title, description, tags, all that. And I've done it for my own personal channel. And what I found with doing that is that unless you are super sure, it might tank how your video is performing. So it's one of those, be very careful when doing a full A/B test because it is going to skew the results. So that's my best advice there. The tag scores used to be showing a lot more, but lately there's barely 2 tags or 3 show scores. So this says the tag scores used to be showing a lot more. Tag scores mean where your video is ranking within search. If you're talking about, let's just click on a random video, folks. We'll go ahead and transition. Let's say we're talking about this one, how to optimize a video for beginners, right? The tag scores here, this shows, if we show the search rankings, shows where we're ranking in search for this video, right? I might need to get rid of 2019. It's 2020, Andrew. I'm living in the past, folks. I'm so sorry. So Star UK Star TV says, can I use A/B test on mobile phone with pay version of TubeBuddy? It's currently not on mobile, but someday we hope to have it there. So if we look here, these are where we're ranking for this term on all of these videos. The thing is, if you're seeing less and less tag rankings, then that means your video is not ranking anymore. So it's not necessarily that it's changing. It just means that as the video goes longer and longer, your ranks are showing less and less. I also say this. Make sure you're using TubeBuddy Incognito mode results because you want to be showing up and you want to make sure that you're seeing it as someone else would see. So if you want to change it, you just click here. I will transition because I think I might have to log in. I can't. Oh, that's right. I can't do that on the TubeBuddy channel because I am technically only a manager. Do not run or own the email that owns TubeBuddy. But that is something that you want to make sure that you're using incognito mode results. If you click on this, it should show you the right way. Well, you know what? Why don't we show the edit video so I can show you something that's super important. There's more stuff on the back end of TubeBuddy. So now that here we are, this video is not made for kids. Well, we know that this video is no longer relevant for 2019. But if we look down here, these numbers show you the keyword score for a video, and you can set by relevance or you can order it by score. So these are stuff it's noticed. TubeBuddy tutorial 2019, how to create a YouTube video for beginners, YouTube SEO 2020. This one might make sense. SEO tutorials for beginners, step by step in English. Well, that definitely fits completely. So I might actually go for that instead. So with that, you see a score. And when it comes to any of these, we say consider adding if relevant. Again, going to zoom in a little bit more. Gotta love 4K monitors for it. What does it mean if I get a lot of impressions but barely any click-throughs? What should I do to help this? So that means that YouTube is trying its best to serve your video to people, but the thumbnail that you have for that video isn't convincing people to click through. So that means that YouTube is doing its best to get your video out there, but your thumbnail isn't helping it. So maybe A/B testing, maybe, things like that. But this is just a good way if you were looking for recommended tags. I like to use these for older videos where maybe I didn't have the best SEO. Odin, again, triple check that you're using incognito mode results. If you're using For You results, it's going to bias the results as what your YouTube channel would see. Someone asks, can you cover incognito mode results again? Make sure you're in incognito mode results, click incognito mode, and then there you'll see a yellow highlight, click incognito mode. So Mike Nike Production says, have you seen PewDiePie's tag subscriptions videos? You could use TubeBuddy. At a certain size, for some YouTube channels, they're going to have a dedicated audience where they don't have to rely on title, subscription, and tags anymore. Doesn't mean that they shouldn't. In fact, they still should care. But at a certain point, the effort they put in there versus the effort they rather put in a video is different. Learn Spanish World says, can you revive an old video if you update or change the tags? It's not necessarily reviving the video as you are trying to help YouTube better understand what it's about, though that comes down to maybe you change the title to be more relevant to what the video actually was. Maybe you did better research. So it comes down to a multitude of factors. Beanie Draw says my older videos have terrible SEOs. I mean, sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. It's a trial and error thing. So now, if we go to what I want to do now is go to suggested, because there are numbers in here too, and I want to break down what each of these numbers mean. So this one, how to optimize YouTube videos, is a very obvious tag that even I didn't answer. So what the eyeball means and what this number means is how many views this video has received in search from this YouTube terms. Folks, I am not perfect. I don't know why I didn't put how to optimize YouTube videos as a tag, and now I'm wondering. See, folks, I am no better. I am only human. I believe I am still learning. But even then, that term, how to optimize YouTube videos, have brought this video 1,110 views. And even I didn't add it. So, it's understanding. This over here is how many views these terms overall have brought in the channel. But this is for this video in particular. Are we still ranking for this? We're ranking number 1, folks. And I have not even added it to, oh God. And we are ranking number 1. Don't worry, folks. We are all learning together. And I feel so intelligent. But you know what? I'm glad that happened, because it shows that even everyone can make mistakes. Everyone's growing. Everyone's learning. Vigard says 1,100 people found it that way. And now more people have a chance to see this video. So I'm going to look at it as a positive. So I'm going to sort these by rank. And the reason I do this is YouTube has said the tag placement doesn't matter. We had this because a lot of people like to see the numbers in order. I'm one of those people as well. But I also just want to make sure that people have the opportunity to see it. But when you auto sort by rank, it gives a chance for your tags to kind of refresh. So if you hit apply and close, maybe this one will start showing a green number. However, it doesn't. It made sense at the time, but it's not ranking. So I'll save my changes, and it just shows everything. Life Geared says, TubeBuddy, we forgive you. Thank you. Again, nobody is 100% perfect. And to what other people said, yeah, other YouTubers could do this too, and it really can actually help them. Sometimes people forget the fundamentals, and anything in life, those basic principles that got you where you are, if you don't refine them, if you don't practice them, you lose them. And then some YouTubers get so big that they stop doing them, then their channel starts to go on a decline, and they're not looking at their analytics, and they're not doing the things they should. And then they're like, the platform's against me. And it's like, I call YouTube a mirror. It is a reflection of the effort you put into it. So if your channel is not doing good, Sometimes it's a reflection on maybe you're not doing the fundamentals like you should. Maybe you're not doing these things. But with tools like TubeBuddy and communities that we have here and everyone here watching, we can give you the opportunity to show up in search, to refine your skills, and to really reconnect with your audience. And that's why I really love TubeBuddy, because there's so many amazing things that you can do. Now, if you'd like to be part of an amazing community, consider joining our Discord or forums. Descriptions will be down below. If you want to know the difference between weighted and unweighted, I'll have that video on screen now. I'm Andrew Cam from TubeBuddy, and thank you so much for watching.